Now, last year was the hottest year ever recorded for the world. The average global temperature was almost 15 degrees Celsius. That's dramatically higher than the last record set in 2016. Our climate editor, Justin Rolat, is here with the details. Justin.
Thanks, Sophie. Well, the world didn't just break the previous global temperature record, it smashed it. The average temperature last year was 1.48 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. It beat the previous hottest year, 2016, by a margin of 0.17 degrees Celsius. That is a huge amount when you consider this is a global average across the entire year, say climate scientists. Just take a look at this. Now, the grey lines on this chart show temperatures for each year since 1940. The red line, you can see it coming on there, shows last year's temperatures. And you can see it started off pretty unexceptional in terms of global temperatures. But from around July onwards, the world began a remarkable, and look at that, almost unbroken streak of daily air temperature records. More than 200 days set new daily global temperature records, according to BBC analysis of the data from the EU climate organisation Copernicus. Now, here's another way of looking at it. This table shows that every day was at least 1 degree above pre-industrial temperatures. Almost half of all days, these ones in the darkest red, were more than 1.5 degrees above them. And we had a couple of days in November, we haven't marked them on here, that were more than 2 degrees hotter. That is another global first.
Our climate is changing, and it's changing drastically. And not only is this recorded in record temperatures around the world, but it's also recorded in the frequency and intensity of extreme events. And what we've seen in 2023 was 7 of the months of that year were the warmest months on record.
Well, sea surface temperatures were even more dramatic than the air temperature. Here's what happened last year. And you can see every day from around mid-March saw a new daily global sea surface temperature record. Towards the end of the year, around about here, we saw the El Nino weather effect kick in. That's where temperatures rise in the Pacific Ocean, radiating extra heat into the atmosphere. And it is also a key reason why the Met Office expects this year, 2024, to be even hotter than 2023.
The main driver is the greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, so those are continuing to rise, and that's giving rise to this 0.2 degrees per decade increase in surface temperature. But added to that, this year we've got the boost of the El Nino, so that's developed through the end of last year, but its main effect on global temperatures is actually the year after that. So we're expecting this year, 2024, to be slightly warmer than last year.
So what is the world doing to tackle the problem? Well, at the COP28 climate meeting in Dubai at the end of last year, countries agreed for the first time that the world needs to transition away from fossil fuels, which are, of course, the main source of the emissions warming the climate. Here is the moment that happened.
It is so decided.
Now, countries aren't obliged to act on those commitments, but it is significant that countries that have dragged their heels on climate in the past, Saudi Arabia, Russia, India, for example, have now publicly acknowledged the importance of tackling climate change. And 2023 saw a big increase in investment in renewable energy globally. China continued to lead the world, adding almost half of the new capacity. But Europe, the US and India have also been ramping up the installation of wind and solar power. But, and this is a big but, 80% of the world's energy still comes from fossil fuel, a measure of just how much further we still have to go. Sophie.
Justin, thank you.